Hello, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to the start of a brand new lifestyle vlog. It has been a while since I have filmed one of these, and I'm so excited to be bringing these back to my channel. If you are new here, used to film some lifestyle vlogs in 2022 where I shared more details of my everyday life, took you around with me. They were not the best, but I sincerely miss them. I was reflecting recently about how I miss documenting some of the more important moments of my life, and even the mundane moments. I had a beloved pet that passed away at the end of 2022, and getting to look back at those videos that I filmed where he was just in the background hanging out, just don't want to miss out on any more moments in my life. I want to be able to document those for myself and also hopefully share more with you. I feel like I'm sort of retooling these videos going forward, which I think should make them a little bit more exciting, mostly in that I'm not going to hold myself to the same standards that I did last time, which was to pack in as much reading content as I possibly could over a given week while trying to also do like planned book content. That was a bit overkill. These are going to be very lifestyle heavy with minimal reading involved. So if you just want to hang out with me, you like beautiful B-roll, and you just want to know more about my life, I'm so glad you're here. I am kicking off this vlog because we just got back from a trip. We just got back from New York, and I'm ready to, I want to say change my life, shall we say. But I took an additional day off of work so that I can just kind of like get my life together. I feel like I'm a little all over the place at the moment just because of some of the stuff that has been happening. I'm not going to go into detail in this vlog about some of the big changes that are happening in my life, which are part of the reason that I'm going to be filming these vlogs going forward, because I'm kind of just still processing, honestly, some of the big emotions that I have kind of surrounding some of these changes. I'll go into more detail in the next vlog, but I didn't want this one to be too sad, so I'm not going to do that here. Instead, I'm going to show you all of the fun B-roll and all of the fun vlog footage from my New York trip, and also just get my life together. That is really what the point of this video is. I want to clean my house. I want to listen to an audiobook. I know I said this wasn't going to be all books all the time, but here in this video, I really want to read Fourth Wing. I've heard so many things about this book, and yet I know nothing about the book at the same time, and I really just want to listen to an audiobook while I deep clean my house, while I get my life back into order before I get back to my regular life tomorrow on Thursday. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my makeup, and then we can get started on some cleaning as I listen to Fourth Wing. All right, now that I am nice and appropriately out of breath from the cleaning I've been doing, I wanted to take a second and tell you a little bit about the sponsor of today's video, Blueland. As you all know, I've been a homeowner for 3 years now, which is absolutely nuts to me. And in that time, I have really figured out how important cleaning my house is to me. I feel like when I was in an apartment or living with other people, it was harder to prioritize keeping my home as neat and tidy as I would like. Now that I'm in a home, I have not only tried to prioritize keeping my house clean, but I've also been super interested in finding products that really align with the things that I personally believe in. And as someone who's been trying to cut down on single-use plastic, I was super excited when Blueland reached out to me. Blueland believes that you can have it all with your everyday products. Their products are effective, convenient, affordable, and sourced from clean ingredients. Blueland uses no single-use plastic in any component, from bottles, tablets, wrappers, to shipping materials. Blueland is also EPA certified, which means EPA scientists have evaluated every ingredient in the product to make sure it meets safer choices, stringent criteria. Unlike your traditional liquid cleaners that are sold in single-use plastics that inevitably pile up, with Blueland, all you need to clean your house or hand is this nickel-sized tablet. Stop paying for wasteful plastic bottles. You are throwing away money when you throw away those plastic bottles. In the past, I would pay $5 or $6 for a single bottle of household cleaner or hand soap, and with Blueland, it's just $2.25 for a refill. And it's super easy to set up. All you have to do is fill up a bottle with warm water, drop one of the tablets into the water bottle, screw the nozzle back on, and you can easily use it in minutes. So here you can see I selected the Clean Essentials bundle, which gives you a glass cleaner, a bathroom cleaner, multi-surface cleaner, and the foaming hand soap, which I'm really excited about because I'm going to be putting this in my primary bathroom. There's so much that I love about Blueland. As I was pulling the tablets out of the packaging, I was really impressed by the scents of each of the products. Nothing was over the top. And then additionally, I love the way that everything comes packaged. In the cabinet under my sink, there are endless bottles that all kind of look the same from similar brands. And with Blueland, everything is perfectly color coordinated. You know which product you're going to be picking up based on the color. So even if you, for some reason, missed the color of the bottle, you can also look at the back of the nozzle for the color, which corresponds with the product it is. Obviously, if I'm going to pick up a multi-purpose cleaner, cleaner. I know it's my yellow bottle right here. That's not to mention how amazing these products are when you actually go to use them. I first used these on my bathroom, which really needed a good scrub down after coming back from my vacation, and I was surprised at how little elbow grease it really took to get things clean. If you want to try out Blueland for yourself, all you have to do is click the link in my description to get 15% off of your first kit. I'm gonna get back to cleaning, but thanks again to Blueland for sponsoring this portion of today's video. All right, so it is like 8 o'clock, I think, at this point, which feels so late, and I feel like obviously should have updated you earlier. However, today has been a bit of a whirlwind. Hayden and I had to run an errand together. We got lunch and then came home. I did some cleaning, which y'all saw, and then we had dinner. So, you know, like not a whole lot of time to update you, but I have been listening to the audiobook, obviously, of Fourth Wing. I don't understand the hype, I'm gonna be honest. I can appreciate the speed at which this book moves and how kind of quickly you're getting into everything, how thrilling it can feel if you're used to like slow moving or like plotting fantasies. However, I was trying to think of how to really define what I don't like about this book and kind of what is making it not feel like this incredible, immersive, and amazing experience. Part of it is definitely the audiobook. That is definitely part of the problem. A lot of people were complaining about this audiobook. I noticed in the reviews for it and also in the replies that I got on Instagram. They were like, oh, she had a cold when she narrated, it was terrible. And I haven't noticed that too much because I listen on 3 times speed. However, there is a lot of gulping, which is not great, but that has nothing to do with the book itself, right? The actual content of the book. I think my issue, and I think the initial thing that I thought, and I think something that a lot of people who did not like this book said in the reviews, were that it felt like YA fantasy. And I don't know that I like that, because I think that is saying that YA fantasy is inherently lesser in some way than adult fantasy, and I don't agree that it is. Yes, I think typically you have slightly easier to digest pieces if you are going to be presenting information to younger age demographic. That doesn't mean you have to like dumb things down, it just means that things are going to be a little bit more straightforward typically. And that's not bad. This book doesn't feel like YA fantasy because it's not like the concepts in this book are easy breezy and nice to understand. It's that the pacing and the world building is a little bit interesting. You get thrown in immediately to this world, and off the bat I was intrigued, I suppose, because you're not having to sit and like, I don't know, listen to the beginning of, let's say, like The Way of Kings. That book starts out so freaking boring. Like, that's the comparison I'm making here. Guy on a caravan and you're learning about this world and you're like, I don't care. This book, you know, you're thrown in to sort of almost like a Hunger Games situation where you've got a girl who doesn't know what she's doing, doesn't want to be a dragon rider. She's supposed to be a scribe or something because she's weak and she has no powers, or I don't know, something to that effect. I guess humans don't have powers until they're bonded to dragons or some nonsense anyway, but she's just not the right candidate, I guess, to be a dragon rider. And yet her mom's making her do it because her mom's like a, I don't know, high up in the dragon army or something like that. So we have our main character Violet getting sent to this like dragon academy where she's going to learn to become a dragon rider. Everybody around her wants to kill her and it's really brutal, and you're like, oh my god, like, ooh, like she shouldn't be here. She's not trained for this. She didn't know she was gonna have to do this. Intriguing enough concept. And again, I think that's what initially like propelled me into the story. I was like, okay, I'm down with this. But the more that I read, and the more that I am reading, it's reminding me of a situation that I got myself into today. I don't know that I got myself into this situation. It was more like thrust upon me, but we're having water pressure issues because there is a break in the main pipeline or something to that effect. Break in the main. Trying to add water lines in my area, and they ended up breaking it instead. So clearly that process has not been seamless. And that's kind of a comparison I would draw to this book, right? If you're trying to make updates, you're trying to get a point across, and you're trying to make it seamless, you can't have it be disruptive. That's where I'm going with this. The world building in this book is very disruptive. It's like you're listening, and then here's a fire hose, have some world building. It is a little jarring at times. I don't like the kind of random interspersedness of the world building in this book. It is kind of driving me a little bit nuts to have to understand like what's coming next. As I'm reading, like I understand, I suppose, like the appeal of the story because people like dragons and people like enemies to lover stories, and there's like a potential love interest I can already tell who doesn't like our heroine and like don't know, he's like, he's a wing leader, so there's like kind of a power dynamic thing there, but he like wants to make her better. I don't know. It's just, there's so much going on, and yet I don't really care that much about any of it. I think the characterization is also kind of weak. Like, the world building is certainly weak, and then the characterization is also pretty weak. Violet is just this character who is described as weak, and yet she never seems to have any consequences to like her weakness, I suppose. Like, she gets beat up, I guess, but she's also not incinerated by the dragons like some of the other people in this book who are obviously quite dumb. So why is she not facing any consequences for her inadequacies? I don't know. Obviously she's the main character, so we can't kill her off, but I don't know, y'all. I really thought that I would like start this and be enamored because so many people have said this is incredible and such a fun fantasy, and I really went in, I think, with the appropriate expectations that this would be a fantasy romance, that it wouldn't be that great. And here's the thing, I don't think that fantasy romance has to be not as good as fantasy that is devoid of romance. I just haven't found one that is better than most mainstream fantasies. That's kind of where I'm at right now, you know? Like, I've never read a fantasy romance that I'm like, wow, this is like Brandon Sanderson level, like this is really good. So yeah, like I went in with the appropriate expectations and I'm still disappointed. I don't know. I'm gonna withhold my judgment though. I'm only like 20-ish% in, and our heroine hasn't like really faced anything yet, you know? She hasn't gotten her dragon. I don't know, is she gonna bond with the dragon? We're finding out too that like dragons have riders. Once the human dies, the dragon finds a new rider, but the dragons don't want riders, or like fewer dragons want riders at this point, and the humans need the dragons to like defeat their enemy, and I don't really know who the enemy is. It's like we're getting all this world building, but like also I have no idea I don't know what's going on. Do I need better reading comprehension? Most likely. I also think that like these things should be easily explainable, you know, paced well throughout the story, and yet here we are. So I am going to tuck myself into bed for a little bit, probably for like the next hour to listen to more of this audiobook. I'm definitely not finishing this book today, which is such a disappointment, but I'm definitely going to get like 50, 75%-ish in, maybe just 50, we'll see. But I will definitely keep you posted, and I will probably pick this book back up for the next weekly reading vlog, of course, because like I'm not gonna leave you hanging. I've got to give you all my final thoughts and feelings about this book, but that's sort of where I'm at. And yeah, I just want to get cozy. I just want to like snuggle up in bed and just like chill, because I have been cleaning all day. I didn't get like footage of all of it because even though I have this like new handy dandy microphone set up, so like sorry if you're not loving the audio quality. I do actually prefer the audio quality of my other microphone better. This is actually like more convenient and better in an echoey house situation. Even though I have this handy dandy little thing, what I was trying to say is that I for some reason cannot find all of my backup batteries for my camera, so I've had to like charge the battery between filming. It's driving me nuts. And I can't just like film whenever I want to, which is frustrating. I have to be like strategic about what I'm filming. So yeah, I've been cleaning all day and I'm so tired, and I'm gonna eventually need to clean these sheets, but I'm gonna do that like when I feed the cats, right? Like in an hour, so I can just like get in full crust mode. I saw a TikTok recently that was like, productive people don't understand what a crust day looks like, which is basically just when you're in bed all day and like are a complete sloth and you don't do anything. Like I need at least one of those days every week, and I haven't had one of those in a while since I was like traversing those mean streets of New York with Hayden. Speaking of which, that's what you're gonna watch next in this like interstitial space between me talking about this book. Enjoy our delightful trip to New York, and when it is over, I will tell you more about this book. Hello.
Hello.
From the mean streets of New York City.
My face looks horrible from this angle. Does my head look like an egg?
Vlogging with our new microphones.
It's kind of fun.
And I told y'all, I promised y'all that I would give you content in new places, and here we are.
We're in the newest of places.
We're in a park.
The New York. Oh yeah, if you look right back there, that's the Flatiron Building. So that's cool.
We're obviously really good at this. We decided to take a pit stop. We just had bagels, and we are actually going to head to the Strand, but it also doesn't open for 30 minutes, so...
Luckily, it's a 30-minute walk,
so... He claims it's a 30-minute walk. I don't know if I believe him or not.
Well, I mean, it's 14 minutes from where we are now, so...
Oh, I'm getting the Beyonce breeze.
Me too, and it's not doing me good. You get Beyonce, I'm getting rancid.
I'm putting mine on my shirt, and I think I'm ready to walk. To strut.
I'm gonna hold mine because it's more fun.
Magellan over here is navigating for us.
We go this way. If we lived here, we would have gone. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know if we would have lived much longer, but you know, go off. There was a bus coming. And thus begins our trip and our true journey in New York City. So we obviously went to the Strand, and this is a place that I've actually been before. I went in 2019 when I went to BookCon, and it is equally delightful a second time around. It was actually really fun getting to bring Hayden here this time, because he, I don't believe, went with me the first time that we actually went to the Strand. I think I went with a bunch of other booktubers, which was fun, but it was nice getting to explore this bookstore with Hayden. He got some coffee. I found a signed copy of Yellowface by R.F. Kuang, which I was super excited about. And of course, I had to mosey on over to the romance section to check things out. It's so fun, honestly, getting to check out your favorite genre in a new city, because there's always books here that I don't feel like I see at my local half-price books or at Barnes & Noble. So there's like a mix of new and used books here, which I really like. Didn't like Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune, and I was obviously showing Hayden the sequel to his favorite romance, Ice Planet Barbarians, and then we had a fun time too checking out the various erotica as well in the romance section. We always have a ball together, obviously. Our time in New York was definitely an interesting one. It's something that I'm definitely going to tell y'all a little bit more about in the next vlog. It was a time of both like great excitement and also great sorrow. I was dealing with kind of a lot when we were on this trip, but we traveled to New York actually for a wedding for a friend, which is really nice. Also, here's some delightful footage of the Ghostbusters car. They were filming, I guess, in New York, which is really cool to see on the streets. But we went to Brooklyn later that day for my friend's wedding, and it was absolutely beautiful. Brie, if there's, you know, a small chance you're watching this, just wanted to let you know your wedding was beautiful and we had a really good time. I would say the day after the wedding was probably my favorite time that we spent in New York. We went to Chelsea Market, which was a whole lot of fun. I will say it was a very overwhelming experience, which I feel like I should have expected, but it's pretty crowded in there, and I would definitely recommend going on like off-peak days or off-peak hours, because we went on Sunday and it was just a little bit overwhelming and packed. I didn't even get to film in this bookstore, which kind of sucked. And then I would say like probably my favorite was the last day that we spent in New York. We didn't have a lot planned on this trip. Again, we were just going for the wedding, but the last day that we spent there, we had a couple of things we wanted to do. We had some pizza over at Bleecker Street Pizza, which was so freaking good. Probably my favorite pizza that I have had in New York to date. We also had Scars the day before, which is pretty good, but like this was my favorite. Just a good slice of pepperoni. We also went to Olfactory, which is a place where you can make your own perfume, which I had a really good time doing, and Hayden actually joined in on the fun as well and made his own fragrance, as he likes to say. Then we headed over to a record store, which I don't think I have footage of, and I got an original vinyl of Fearless, which is just thrilling, obviously, as a Taylor Swift fan. Later that day we went and got some Korean food with one of our friends who is local to New York, so overall it was a pretty good trip. Oh, well, I guess we're losing a friend. Hello. Let's have a come to Jesus moment, shall we? I am 50% into Fourth Wing, and I feel the same way that I did in the first clip. I feel like I'm almost at a loss for words. This is some of the corniest stuff that I've ever read in my life. Think that my expectations just were not adjusted accordingly. You know, I thought that I had adjusted my expectations. I thought like, oh, okay, yeah, like this is, you know, it's a fantasy romance. Like it's not going to be mind-blowing. And yet I'm still just a little bit astounded at what I've been reading. I don't know how much I want to spoil. I'm going to do a spoiler section, actually. You know what? I've decided. Okay, spoilers right now, so maybe skip ahead if you don't want to hear the spoilers. Not only is this woman, girl, whatever, not only is she completely untalented and terrible at being a dragon rider or attempting to become a dragon rider, but she somehow gained the ability to stop time and bonds with two dragons, which is something that no one does and has never been done before. And I just wonder why. Hearing her talk to the dragons was also another level of corny that I just like certainly was not expecting. I genuinely am just at a loss. I am at a loss for words in a way. I'm not gonna talk spoilers anymore. I just think that this book is so fast paced, and I was gonna say decently written. It's so fast paced that I think people got sucked in. I think people were enamored by the idea that there were dragons, that there was going to be an enemies to lovers relationship, and that our heroine is like, I don't know, a little bit of an underdog, that people decided that this was a good book. They decided that this was worthy of 5 stars. I don't have a single friend, I believe, on Goodreads who has rated this less than 5 stars, so I don't know what that says about the friends that I have on Goodreads, but I am questioning everything. I'm questioning everything. Let's leave it at that. And you know what? I actually like kind of want to leave this vlog on a cliffhanger because I'm feeling so inclined. This is like a shorty little vlog, a fun, zesty little vlog, shall we say. I hope you enjoyed that New York footage, by the way. I enjoyed doing the voiceover and just like, you know, general editing for that. I wish that I would have shared a little bit more about my day with y'all, but you know what? A girl had not a panic attack, but some serious anxiety today, based on some things, again, that I will be telling you in the next vlog. So next vlog's gonna be wild and hot. You know, I don't want to like promise too much. I feel like I might have promised too much even going into this vlog, but I feel like I delivered, right? I cleaned my house. I read Fourth Wing. I don't know what else I said I was going to do, but I feel like I accomplished those things for the most part. In the next vlog, what you can expect from me is finishing this book, talking about some really honestly kind of sad and depressing things, but like life update things, you know, like if y'all are nosy, which I know some of y'all are, I mean, I'm nosy too, you're gonna want to stay tuned for the next vlog. There's definitely some stuff in there that is traumatizing me currently, but will make for hopefully interesting, entertaining content. I don't know. I'm really selling it, right? I'm really selling this vlog and selling the vlogs in general. But yeah, this month is going to be interesting. Next vlog is definitely going to be more serious. I'm going to be sharing that kind of stuff with y'all. And then the following week, I'm actually going on a vacation with my little sister, who is endlessly entertaining and who will probably be reading a lot on that vacation. So she will have things to say for the vlog. I'm going to bring my little mics like this. And yeah, we're going to Rosemary Beach, Florida. So if you're there the 3rd week of June, I will be there. Say hi or something. I don't know. What am I saying? There's going to be vlogs. There's going to be many vlogs, many much things happening this month. But anyway, thanks so much for watching this video. Love y'all so much. And until next time.